Alright, I've decided I am officially on a mission. I'm going to go back and beat all the games that I grew up with, but this time I'm going to do it properly using retro achievements. If you've never heard of it, it basically adds Xbox style achievements to classic games. Stuff like beating cups, perfect runs, weird hidden challenges, and even things the original developers probably never expected you to do. And today we're going to start off with Mario Kart 64. Now, on the surface, this sounds easy, right? Win all the cups, job done, but not quite. So 100% this game with retro achievements, you've got to win every cup on 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc. Unlock extra mode and do it all over again. Get the maximum points in cups with specific characters, grind out the time trials, and somehow trigger a secret ending by finishing in 4th place. And then there's one challenge. I'm not even going to explain it yet, just roll the clip. Oh my god, Bowser, I hate so much, and now I have to do the other level again. But one thing to love, no missable achievements. And it wouldn't be one of my videos without a severe cock-up whilst going for this master. But before we get into the suffering, this game actually goes way back for me. I don't even think we owned Mario Kart 64 at first. I think my brother borrowed it from a friend and we basically never gave it back, so sorry about that if you're watching. We used to run 2-player Grand Prix for hours. The strategy, one of us, usually him, would actually try to win, and the other one would hang back farming the good power-up, like the lightning, blue shell, and timing when to use them. Honestly, I don't think we ever played it the way it was intended, but that's what made it fun. So going back now, trying to beat it properly with actual rules and achievements on top, this is going to be interesting. So let's get into it, starting off with the 50cc trophies. 8 classic characters to choose from. I used to always want to be Yoshi, but so did my older brother, which meant I had to be Toad. However, in this one, to speed up the achievements, we could pick Luigi and gather 36 points for a character-specific achievement. And it's been a fair few years since I played this game, so it's going to be hard getting used to the drifting mechanics for the mini turbo boost. I'm not going to skid, let's not get used to that yet. We took the lead pretty early on and we just stayed there, hitting the AI with the power-ups if they got closer to us. First win, no issues. I know it's on the easiest difficulty, on the easiest circuit, but gaining 9 points for the win. And as it's a Grand Prix, to win the cup, you've only got to beat everyone's points tally over the 4 races, but we want to win each race for those 36 points. Moo Farm is up next, another short circuit, but this one has moles or something that pop out of the ground and cause you to crash before unlocking our first achievement, hitting a drift boost in a Grand Prix. The way to get this is to initiate the drift and flick the analog stick back and forth until the smoke behind turns orange. Letting go of the drift gives a little bit of a boost. So the way I streamed this didn't allow for the achievements to be shown up on stream. We do fix this ready for the next stream to show as they pop, but follow me on Twitch, which is where I streamed all of this mastery over there at the Smiley. Back to the video, back to Moo Farm, beating again with no issues once I dodge those molehills. Another 9 points and creating a gap between me and the AI in the rankings. The next race in this first cup, Koopa Troopa Beach. I love the little beach, you would think. Now, the racing isn't too bad. On our first lap, we allude to taking an intended shortcut, but the jump is big and could be quite difficult, so I avoid it on my first lap. Continuing my pursuit of beating the AI, spinning on the crabs, but we keep racing. The second lap was struck by lightning, but still grinding out our way to the front, and the last lap begins. We hit an item box and get a mini turbo. As we approach the shortcut jump, we've obviously got to take it, and take it we do. Popping 2 achievements. Wait, 2? What? 2 achievements for 1 shortcut? The first one is for taking the shortcut in a Grand Prix. Seems sensible enough. The second achievement is for taking the intended shortcut on Koopa Troopa Beach. Is that not just the same thing then? Well, no. Turns out on retro achievements, if there's a subset of achievements, you automatically opt into them, meaning that now I have unlocked 1 achievement in a subset that I'm not even sure I understand how to do these achievements. It's all about using the glitches and the exploits to find shortcuts to skip laps. And brother, at this point I could barely drift. Some of these are speedrun tricks, and I've never speedrun a game in my life. Like, look at some of these. Win a full cup in less than 5 minutes and 40. It takes me around 8 minutes. How am I supposed to shave off that time? I'm going to have to pass on these. Unless I might do one of those sub-goal things that real YouTubers do, and if hit it, I might consider it. Let me know below what you think it should be. And whilst you're there, if you're liking the video, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications and all that. But back to Koopa Beach. After making it through the shortcut, the win is ours. 3 races, 3 wins, 27 points, 1 more to go. I have watched some videos on this game, and some people do not call this track the same that I call it. I've always known it as Calamari Desert. I've heard some people call it Calamari Desert, but to me, it's calamari, like the food. We've got a brake to avoid hitting the train, which I think is the first time I've used the brake so far. And after 3 laps, taking the win down, we beat the first cup, 36 points, all wins, and the cutscene, we get right outside of Peach's castle. The trophy pops out, and we unlock 2 achievements. On to the next cup, which is the Flower Cup, and we've got to use Toad for those 2 achievements. Starting off, which I think is one of the more annoying circuits, in Toad's Turnpike, and we're going to spend a lot of time here for future achievement. It's not too bad in 50cc, but in the later speeds, especially the extra cup, it gets rather frustrating trying to dodge the cars as well as the AI and their items. But we take this down on 50cc without hitting any of the cars or item blocks for this achievement, and also get 9 points for the win. Up next, Frappy Snowland, a quick, fun track with more obstacles in the form of exploding snowmen that is best to avoid running into when possible, unlike me, who hit at least one on every single lap, or I fell off the bridge. This is the first time I didn't finish first, it means I cannot get the 36-point achievement, but we continue with the cup as we can still get the gold trophy for the other achievement. Onto Choco Mountain, a narrow circuit with long corners and a set is barriered off on 50cc, which I've just realised in later CCs this barrier isn't there, but taking a win on this circuit to be first overall. Onto the final circuit, Mario's Raceway, an easier circuit, a spin out on the final lap, and just about beating Luigi gives us the gold cup for the Flower Cup. As I didn't get 36 points, I'll have to come back for Toad's specific trophy later, but now it's time for Peach on the Star Cup. Starting off with Wario Stadium. It's a very long circuit compared to the rest that we've done so far, and I tried to understand the drifting a bit more, but after grabbing a win secures us at 9 points. Onto the next one, which is Sherbet Land, an ice track that doesn't actually change the traction, and penguins that we've got to avoid too as they slide about and trying to slow you down. You then enter a cave which has a massive left turn that always just feels off to me. I just feel like I get lost in the cave. Anyway, on the final lap we drive straight into a penguin just on the final corner, but luckily we sniped Yoshi with a green shell and just about grabbing that first spot. Then it's time for Royal Raceway, which is another turn I struggle with each time. It's good if you've got a mushroom boost or a star so you can just skip it very tight and close to making you fall off the side. Finishing the race, we take a second place this time and move on to the final race of this cup, Bowser's Castle. Starting off the race, we unlock an achievement for hitting a starting boost. Yep, that's right, 12 races in, and this is the first time that I hit the starting boost. To be fair, I still don't really understand the timing on this either. The achievements didn't stop there with this race. Later on, we get our first draft for this achievement, and spinning over the line, we unlock the gold trophy for the Star Cup. One more Grand Prix left for 50cc, and this time it's Yoshi's turn. With no older brother, I could safely use him here. DK's Jungle Parkway is up first, a boost jump over the river where you can cut it, and if you don't go far enough, it's a pretty decent lead too. But I go too far and fall in the water. If you go on the grass, you also get coconuts thrown at you. We still take first place on this race, and now we're on to Yoshi's Valley. A unique race, and the graphics won't show you where you are in the position, and there's many different ways that you can complete a lap. I went for the short bridge and to avoid the hedgehogs on each lap. I don't know if this is the quickest way, but it's the way that I felt most comfortable with. Avoid the massive spinning egg and finish the line after 3 laps, another win. Next up, Banshee Boardwalk. I remember hating this level as a kid, purely for the fact that there's so many places that you could fall off the course. Then you enter a room where bats fly towards you. Slowing you down slightly, but on 50cc caused me no issues now that I'm more experienced. Final race, the iconic Rainbow Road, a staple in the Mario Kart games in different iterations, and the longest circuit on this game by a mile. Long sweeping corners and the dog things that are called chain chomps, by the way. Over 2 minutes a lap and take it down the win. That's all 4 races win, 2 achievements. That's all gold cups won in 50cc, but we've still got a few 36 pointers to go back to. Starting off with Toad on the Flower Cup, back on Toad's Turnpike, with a lovely commenter jumps in the stream and just gives us the tips that we need to learn the drifting ability. And now we've got this, and just won the first race. And the other 3 were easily taken down for this achievement. Back with Peach for the Star Cup and the 36 points required. And now with our perfect understanding of the drifting mini turbos, smash these out around the track on Wario Stadium for an achievement as well as finishing first. Third on Royal Raceway, which I thought meant we needed to restart the whole Grand Prix. Don't come first and you're going for this achievement, just come 5th. If you don't come in the top 4, the game doesn't let you proceed. It only gives you the option to retry or quit. At this point, I don't know this information, so I restarted the Grand Prix a few times too. But back to Royal Raceway after the restart, I hit a banana and started to spin out and instinctively slammed the brakes on. This prevented me from spinning out and unlocks this. To Bowser's Castle. We've won the 3 previous races, just about, and taking down Bowser's Castle, unlock this for the 36 point achievement. And we're making good progress. That's a 50cc fully completed. It wasn't too bad. The rubber banding in this game makes it a lot more easier to catch up. I could have done it quicker if I'd have known about the restart thing. Anyway, now it's time to go back through all 16 races, all 4 cups, but this time on 100cc. And you'll be pleased to know that I did in fact fix the stream. We can see the latest achievement that we've unlocked on the right, and we can also see the achievements that pop up when we unlock them. So let's grab the gold cups and also the 36 points for each character, starting off with Mario and beating all 4 races. On the Mushroom Cup, we unlock this. Mushroom Cup. Obtain a gold trophy in the Mushroom Cup on 100cc. Should unlock the other one as well now. Mushroom Cup with Mario is not what we needed to do. So let's try that again, but this time with the correct character, Wario. I'm still trying to beat all of them on one try too, so if I do finish second, I am restarting the whole thing still at this point. But taking it all down, we finally unlock this, and now using Mario on the correct cup, the flower cup, let's skip to Choco Mountain. A banana flings us off the track. What shot? No! No! Now there isn't a specific trophy for using a character on 150cc, so what I was going to do here is just continue and get the gold cup, use Mario on the 150cc and get the 36 points there instead of here. But we finished 5th and the penny finally dropped. All those full restarts that I've been doing, I could have just restarted that one race, but we'll learn it now and it will come super handy for the hard achievements later. After taking down the rest of this cup, we unlock these. We can see him. Mario will get 36 points, 100cc or higher. Obtain a gold trophy in Flower Cup at 100cc class. Buzzing. Next up, taking down the Star Cup using Bowser. A first place finish in all the races unlocks these. Then it's on to DK for the Special Cup. I tried to take a shortcut across the river again, hitting a boat and having to be rescued on the second lap, dropping me all the way back down to 8th place. But I grinded my way back to second before getting a power up, which was a lightning strike. In second place, I got a lightning strike. I used it and I took the lead, winning the race and unlocking this achievement. Beating the remaining races in this set unlocks us this. I've been better at beating all the races on my first try, or at least now I can just restart that one race rather than everything. So that's 100cc fully completed and quite quickly beat too. Onto 150cc. There aren't any character specific achievements now, as I've used all 8 previously. So let's just jump into this difficulty. Starting off with the Mushroom Cup and Moo Moo Farm, we've won a race without using any mini turbos in 150cc for this achievement. The last race of this cup, if we win, we're going to unlock quite a few achievements, but we've got to beat it first. And with the lead that I had, I went for a Miscellaneous achievement to finish a race first backwards. Yes! As well as winning the cup and the 36 points in 150cc. And we don't actually have to get 36 points for the rest of the cups, just the gold cup. Let's jump forward to see all of these popping up. That's all 50, 100 and 150cc achievements unlocked. We unlock extra mode, but it's the same courses, but it's just flipped in a mirror, so everything is backwards. It doesn't change much, but getting used to the way the courses are, then to have it flipped can mess with your brain a little bit. Well, for me at least. The only race that it massively changes is towards Turnpike. It makes it a bit more dangerous with the cars and the buses coming towards you rather than them going away, making it a bit harder to dodge. But let's just fly through these again. There's 7 achievements left to get. 1 for each of the Grand Prix Gold Cups. 1 achievement for 36 points in the Grand Prix. 1 for dropping to 8th after lap 1 and still winning. And then finally 1 for unlocking a gold cup on all 16 Grand Prix. That is now all of the Grand Prix fully completed. We've got some miscellaneous achievements to go back through and pick up, then the time trials, and then finally the hard part of the game. So let's have a look at what we need to do for the miscellaneous achievements. Starting off with touching the bridge in Peach's castle and then winning the race. The rubber banding helped massively with this one. If you do it on the first lap, there's plenty of time to regain the lead. There are a few achievements linked specifically to towards Turnpike, but some of these are a bit annoying and hard to get, so I'll split these up just to grab. Starting with finish first without hitting a car on 150cc or extra, obviously just using 150cc so the cars don't come towards us. Preventing a spin out as DK on DK's Jungle Raceway without spinning out and still winning the race. I tried doing this by hitting a banana and not spinning out, but that was harder than it needed to be. Then I looked at the achievement and it doesn't say anything about bananas, so if you quickly keep changing direction, the car will begin to spin out. If you slam on the brakes, this counts, but you're still going to win the race and still not spin out to unlock this. A bit of a strange one to stare at the camera for a full second, just using A and B to turn the car and stare deeply into your own soul, but the camera likes to automatically flick behind the car unless you trap it in a corner and just stare at yourself. Back on towards Turnpike for another achievement and finish a race at 150cc without using any power-ups. This doesn't have to be done on towards Turnpike, this is just the easiest circuit to avoid the power-ups, but it's still hard as the AI cheat on this race. When you can't see them, they just phase through the car cars, or at least that's how it felt. If they got a lead, it was hard to keep up. Drifting is also a must, and we're staying on this circuit for a little while. There is a bit of an annoying achievement to get now, which is to perform 2 drafts and win the race. It's hard to actually get a draft, and once you've got 2, you've still got to win. I attempted this for about 30 minutes, and some of the attempts I got no drafts, whilst others I just about get one. And on my final attempt, I started off with 1 draft straight away, and then on the second lap, I got the second draft in almost the exact same place. So I just needed to win the race. Peach has shot off, and I was struggling to catch her. The final lap begins, and I got 3 red shells. Luckily, they don't dive straight into the wall. And on the second to last bend, I take the lead, and on the last corner, a tight squeeze through 2 cars. We just about get through, finish the race in first, just to pop it. Then it's time for the last miscellaneous achievement to unlock, and that's a secret ending for finishing 4th. This is actually a lot harder than it sounds. It's not about just finishing 4th each race, as randomly someone could finish 2nd in one race for 6 points overall, and you could be bumped down to 5th overall. You have to finish at least 4th in each race to progress on to the next race. 5th means you've got to retry it. So I went onto the Mushroom Cup, the quickest of the cups. Finished 3rd on Luigi's Circuit for 3 points. Finished 4th on Moo Moo Farm for 1 point. Finished 4th on Koopa Troopa Beach for 1 point, putting us on 5 points, which turned out to be 6th overall. DK, Bowser and Toad are all on 6 points. I really tried to do the maths in my head, but my head hurt. If I'd finished 3rd, I'd go on 8 points and leapfrog them. If I finished 4th on 1 point, I'd be joint with them. One thing I did know is that Peach was going to be 1st regardless, so I could do with her taking 4th just to prevent anyone else getting 1 random point, and then 2 of the other players finishing 1st and 2nd to put them 2nd and 3rd overall, and for me to finish 3rd to go 4th overall. I took the lead and I was waiting on the finish line, and this is exactly what happened. I allowed Bowser and Luigi to go ahead finishing 1st and 2nd. I crossed the line in 3rd, and I just wanted to see what happened, and I had it perfectly worked out. And for all that hard trouble, we watched the winners and drive off only to be blown up. The time trials are next. Starting off with a random one, which was just to hit the shortcut once in Koopa Troopa Beach without using mushrooms. Then we tackled the rest of the 16 tracks in order. There's quite a few tricky tracks in this, to be honest, but now that I've got the drifting down, it becomes a whole lot easier, with most of these beaten on the first attempt or a few attempts later. Once you know when to drift boost effectively, the times are still pretty close though. There's a few levels in which you also need to unlock a ghost and then beat that ghost for more achievements, but there's an achievement for each of the levels. All 16 levels give you 16 more achievements. You've just got to go back and unlock Peach's ghost and then beat the ghost again, and you definitely need to use the mushrooms to skip that last corner, which is probably why this time is quicker than the other achievement without mushrooms. I got a 239.88. Peach's ghost again was a nightmare to beat, needing me to hit a 238.45, and this was mighty close again, which is over a second better than I did when I unlocked the ghost in the first place, and that was hard. All the time trial achievements are now finally unlocked, just the hard achievements left, which I've not explained yet. I wanted to wait until the end just to show how hard these can be. But thank you if you watched the video this far, it's very much appreciated, and thanks for stopping by. So what exactly are these achievements? Well, it's to get at least a gold cup on all the Grand Prix without bumping into a wall. So let's make a start on these. Starting with the Mushroom Cup on 150cc. We've got to beat every race without retrying any race, get 36 points and finish the cup without bumping into a wall. My first attempt died on the first race. A few attempts later on Luigi's Circuit, the first of the Mushroom Cup, the first place is ours. Moo Moo Farm isn't an issue at all as the course is massively wide. There's just the pillars on the bridge at the end of the race that we need to miss, and we also need to finish first. Koopa Beach, we avoided the shortcut at all costs and went a long way around, and again this is an open track, so it's easily done. All we need to do is finish first, which we do. Calamari Desert basically doesn't have walls, just the railings on the train tracks that are easy enough to avoid, so finishing first, the achievement is ours. The Flower Cup up next, and again this is similar rules. 150cc, 36 points, no wall collisions, but this time you can retry each individual race if we crash. Toad's Turnpike is easy enough to avoid the walls and the cars. Frappy Snowland is only the end of the circuit which has walls, which we do hit a few times, so we can just retry this. I thought Chocolate Mountain would cause me a few issues as it's a tight circuit, but I'm guessing some of the corners don't count as walls and beaten on the first attempt. Mario Raceway is thankfully another open track. You've just got to finish first, which we do, and unlock this. This is where it starts to ramp up. For the Star Cup, the speed drops to 100cc, and we just need to get first place overall, which means we don't need to get 36 points. You think this would make it easier? There's some really stupid corners on some of the tracks if you're trying not to hit the wall, but starting with Wario Stadium, this isn't one of them. This is a long track, but it's an open track. Finishing first for 9 points. Snowland is open until the cave, but avoiding the walls in here is easier than I thought. Another first place for another 9 points. Royal Raceway, no issues with the walls here again. First place, 9 points, leaving just Bowser's Castle. And all I need to do is finish 4th without hitting the walls to win overall. But this track is just, it's one of my favourite tracks to play normally, but here each corner is designed to be tight, and I bump on 90% of the track. Even on the time trial that we did, we bumped every lap. Starting off, there's this narrow gap under the blocks with a 90-degree turn to the right and a tight corridor, which then opens up into a big room with blocks moving left to right for another 90-degree turn into another tight corridor, and then across a stupid bridge that then finishes into yet another 90-degree turn. And it's not over there. There's then a spiral upwards that you can't even drift around without bumping into a wall. And you got to do this for 3 laps. And then to top it all off, if you bump into a wall on the first lap, you've got to finish the race, come 5th, just to attempt it again. Each attempt is around 2 minutes long, which doesn't sound like much, but after a while of raging, it absolutely is. But finally, we got on the run, and with many close calls, we came 3rd, but 1st overall for the achievement to pop, and just one more cup to go. Same rules as the last time, 100cc, 1st place overall, no walls. And I thought Bowser's Castle was hard. It's got nothing on all of this event. Starting with DK's Jungle Partway. This has a few annoying bits. The spiral at the beginning is tighter than you think when you're not restricted to hitting the walls. Bridges are just the worst. I'm going to say it again just so that you're aware. There's no confusion. Bridges are the worst. They're just so narrow that you cannot turn on them at all to correct anything, even slightly. I was here for around 30 to 40 minutes trying to do 3 laps on this course, but we finally just about get it done. Yoshi Valley, this track almost made me not want to even use Yoshi anymore. I hate this track. Every part of it is designed to be a nightmare. The route that we picked and felt most comfortable with had a little bridge. After this there was hedgehogs and then a drop down onto the track below, which we have always bumped off the wall to continue. Then round the corner, past the egg, there's yet another really long bridge. I think the amount of attempts that this took me into the triple digits to beat it. I'd clip the bridge at the beginning, or on the longer bridge I'd be bumped by the AI, or just a massive number of things could just go wrong. Then when I was waiting to finish the course in 5th to retry, this happened. Oh my god, Bowser, I ate so much and now I have to do the other level again. To redo all of the cup again, because I can't retry this race because I finished 4th, so the game progresses, so I'm going to have to start again. DK Jungle's Partway, a few attempts later, 2nd place for 6 points. Yoshi's Valley, another 25 to 30 minutes here, and a 3rd place finish for 3 points. Remember, we still just need to win overall too. So next up, Banshee Boardwalk. And while this is still hard, it has nothing on Yoshi's Valley. It's quite a narrow course with walls on either side, so it can be tricky. But around 10 minutes later, we've taken this down with a 2nd place finish, leaving me on 15 points, 1 point behind Yoshi. And all I've got to do is beat these 2 and not hit a wall for the mastery. Rainbow Road, a 5.5 minute circuit without hitting the walls. I thought this would be a nightmare, but it turns out that this is just that wide. It's pretty easy. My very first attempt approaching the final straight, we finished 1st, giving us the goal for the 1st place overall, and finally mastering Mario Kart 64 in 16 hours and 17 minutes. And well, if you're going to go for this mastery, please understand that you can retry the races instead of the full cups, as you'll be able to get it done a whole lot quicker. Anyway, thanks for stopping by and watching the video. I'm the Smiley, and I'll catch you in the next one.